Okay, so yesterday, you may have seen it, but I did a short, and some of my shorts I do question of the day because I have a lot of questions, and I ask them here, and just, when you respond in the comment section, we can continue the conversation there. But yesterday, my question of the day was around an empowerment conference topic that Dr. Dennis Kimbrough was talking on. I don't know if it's a current empowerment conference or whatever, but it's here on YouTube now. And Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who is the author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, was the speaker. And I see Loving Myself is in the building. Welcome in. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a good start of your day. Today is Friday. Listen, it's Friday. It's January 31st, the last Friday of the month. And here in Charlotte, it's going to be almost 70 degrees today. Y'all, it is a warm front coming through. And I am just like really bugging out at how warm it is when it was so cold just the other week. And those are the ebbs and flows, and sometimes you wonder, do I dress for the season or do I dress for the weather? Because you definitely don't want to get too crazy with it by wearing shorts or anything like that and then find yourself with a bad cold or worse. So I kind of dress in between. I typically don't like to wear big coats anyway, unless it's like a certain degree. That's when I bring big dogs out. But typically I just like to wear something I could just throw on, and if I'm driving, I really don't like to wear anything. But I do love a good scarf. So listen, yesterday I did the short, and it was a question. And the question again was from that empowerment conference that I heard Dr. Dennis Kimbrough speaking on. And it was about, what would you rather, someone to waste your time or waste your money? And I am really surprised that the majority of the responses were neither. And I don't know if I'm surprised, because actually when I was doing that short, I said many people will probably say neither. You're not going to stay on. Okay. Well, I'm glad you stopped by. Thanks for stopping through. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Definitely. Oh, it's cold over where you are. And you're saying neither too. Yeah, see, a lot of people will say neither. But when you truly think about it and you understand the actual question and what it means, you may have a difference of an opinion at that point. And so when I asked the question of the day, I didn't go into too much detail around it. I just really put it out there in the atmosphere and just kind of sit back and see what everyone is going to say. So when you think about money and time, so there's things that will waste both, that won't consider how much you have of it, that know how much you have of it, so they try to gobble it all up, and you have control over actually what you divvy out. Sometimes it's beyond your control just slightly, but you do ultimately have control over how you handle that. So think about it. Money. First of all, it's important to have a relationship with your money. And, I'm not talking about, anything crazy, but you need to know how much you have at all times. You need to know how much cash you have on hand. A lot of people take it for granted, the coins. If you have a lot of loose change, I know my husband always keeps a ton of loose change. My father was the same. My father always kept a lot of loose change, but, keep it in a contained place. But even with that, you need to know how much it is that you have, not guesstimate, not almost, not just about maybe this amount. No, you need to know how much you have at all times. You need to know how much are in your different accounts, your different investments, how much are in there, how much is it going to grow? Because really every year you need to do a balance sheet where you are showing your assets and liabilities. And those are really good to have on hand, because you never know. You may get an opportunity to invest in a big project, or you may start a business just out of the blue. A great business concept comes across your way. And if you're trying to get other investors or a loan for it, especially for business, you're going to have to show your balance sheet, your assets and liabilities. So you should know how much are in those accounts and the worth of everything, like your house, getting it appraised, seeing how much it is, pretty much because of your taxes. But just checking out your community, how much are houses going for that are very similar to yours, so that you can kind of keep your eye out on your actual net worth, because your home, especially if you don't have a mortgage, it definitely goes into your asset column. And it does too if you have a mortgage, but really anything that you're paying on is not a asset. It's still a liability because you're spending money on it in that way. So you want to have that relationship and have a clear understanding of what your money is looking like. And a lot of people don't. And so a lot of times you do get your money wasted because you just think, "Oh, I have a lot of money in my purse right now. Here, yeah, take this 20." And you say take this 20 to a good 10 people, you're going to be short. So that's why it's important to have that relationship with your money, have financial literacy, understand how the money comes in and how it goes out. If more is going out than's coming in, eventually you're going to be short. And the sad thing is, I've heard of people that acquired a large sum of money at one time for various reasons, and people think, "Oh, they straight. They got X amount of money, boom, boom." And I'm like, if they don't make that money work for them, they're not going to have that money for long, because if they're nipping at it, biting off of it piece by piece, and that's their life, that's contributing to their lifestyle, it's going to be a challenge, because they're not replenishing it, and you want to replenish with more than you're taking out. But the great thing about money is that you can always make more of it. You can always find ways to make money on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, just being creative, putting yourself out there. So when we talk about people wasting your money, hopefully you're also having other streams where money's coming in, flowing in. You have that option to do that. Even if you deplete what you have, you can grow it back up. Just being creative, innovative, and doing more collaborative works. You just never know. Think back into, or look back into your mind and say, you know what? I have this skill, and this skill is needed. A lot of people don't have it, but they need what I can do. So let me make a business out of it. Let me, get this together so that I can start earning more money. And let me see, is in the building. Big Boss is in the house. Hello. No, no. No Diddy party tonight. Okay, no. Mm-mm. Um, Petra is in the building, and I'm glad that you all are here. Thank you so much. So listen, you could always get more money. So when people said neither, what would you rather people take, your time or your money? And they said neither. I'm like, look at the money piece closer, because you can always make more of it. It's not one and done. Now, your time, on the other hand, your time, oh my goodness, you can't get that back. You cannot get that back. You can't get yesterday back. You can't get last week back, last year. And that is something that is extremely valuable. Time is more valuable than money. And when you start to get into that mindset of that, then you'll start to see things change in your life. So if you work, you have a job, you want to definitely time block your calendars to include the things that you need to do. Because if you don't time block that, and if people are checking your calendar for openings, they'll slither into those spaces where you was planning on doing something that you needed to do, but they'll insert themselves there, and now you find yourself in a meeting or a situation that is really not serving what you have to do, and that's your time. So you want to be mindful of your time. Time is money. So when people said neither, I'm like, are they not realizing that time is money, and it's the most limited amount? So we have to make each second count. Now, if you are wasting your time, in many cases, you may not be making money. Now, if you have money that is, being made while you sleep, that's one thing. And I hope you do have that. But if you don't, and your time is, aligned with how you make your money, and people are wasting it, talking nonsense or just really focused on what they have to do, and they always want your opinion and, oh, what do you think and all that. And meanwhile, you tapping your fingers like, yo, I got stuff to do. And you don't want to just leave them high and dry, but you have to manage your time better if you are finding that people are wasting your time more and more. And not saying that, those deep conversations with people are a waste of time. They're not. But if you have something else that you have going on that is part of your money making, then you need to, be mindful and even tell them that, like, listen, um, I know that you call me right now, or I know that you put this on my calendar, but in real life, I have another thing going on. Be transparent. Don't just be disgruntled and take the meeting with them or whatever and just sitting there, me mugging them and they're looking at you like, why they looking at me like that? What's going on? No, let them know, you know what? I'm gonna have to be a little late, or I'm gonna have to leave this meeting early, especially if you accepted it. I'm gonna have to leave a little early because I actually have something else on my plate that I have to handle. Look at all the things that you have going on. Don't shortchange yourself with your time. You can shortchange yourself with your money, but don't shortchange yourself with your time, because again, that's money, and that's more valuable than money. And so when people pose questions, and this is something that I always share with my children, my three young adults. I let them know, don't just answer, really quickly. Don't shoot from the hip. Oh, neither, nothing, not one or the other. Blah, blah, blah. No, think about it. Think about all the things that go into both, or whatever the options are, and then, make your decision from that. I'm thinking maybe people said neither because I did say it, that I knew that's what people were going to say. But I want you to really think about it when people ask you questions. You don't have to answer right away. You could definitely ponder over it and weigh the pros and cons for all, for sure. And Petra is saying, how can I improve my quality of life and achieve financial stability if I live in Siberia? The average monthly salary is 500 here. Um, I envy the folks who live in the US. Now, listen, you don't have to envy us, but consider other talents that you may have. You have a story. I don't know what the rules and regulations are in Siberia, so, some of the things I tell you may not be able to implement, I'm not sure. But if you have a story to tell, write it in a book. Have you ever considered sharing your story, your legacy? That's your work. That's the life that you live. In a book, people will be very curious about it. If you are a content creator, I don't know if you're able to post, YouTube videos and stuff. That can be another source of income. If you have a talent, if you are a graphic designer, if you are able to do something that's more on a virtual level, go on a platform where you can then support other businesses. Listen, businesses are challenging to run, to develop, and oftentimes people started off as a solo entrepreneur and they're doing everything themselves. However, they are always looking for contractors or consultants to assist them with their businesses in different areas that they may not be that strong in. So if you have a strength in a different area that you think someone else can utilize, if you have a talent that you feel someone else can utilize, craft it up, write it up, and put it out there that you are available, and you just never know. I know in many places that there are challenges, there's limitations, and but you have to think through those and really be creative in those situations, be innovative in those situations. The fact that you are on here means that you have some form of technology, and there's so much that you can do with technology. You don't have to be right front facing with that person. You could do things virtually. You can do things via email. You can, there's so many different ways that you can do it, but dig deep and find out what your true talents are and how you can put them to work for you, for sure. Pico says, I have a lot of evil in me. I need an exorcist. Well, this is the wrong channel for that. And I'm sorry that that's your situation. And hopefully you'll be able to find support for that. But this is not the channel for that. But I appreciate you for stopping by. And I really hope that you have a great day, for sure. Wellness with Frugal Mama. Hello to you. Good morning. Oh my goodness. This is my second morning going live, and I am really enjoying it. Typically, I do a car chat, and it's just a video or a short. And something in me just told me yesterday to, you know what, Sherry, go live. And I did, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't for a long period of time, just a short time, but it happened and I made it work. I know a while ago, Carter's Eat said, Sherry, you need to go live on YouTube using the YouTube platform and go vertical. So here I am. And I hope that everyone is going to have a great day. I hope that you had a wonderful, productive week. Make sure today that you write down all the things that you accomplished. Have your done list. I always say, people will have their to-do list and then they cross things out or delete it from their device. Like, I did that, I'm done. But you want to have your done list and you want to review it so that you can see all the things that you accomplished this week. If you didn't have a to-do list, I want you to just write down, what meetings did you have that were successful? What were the outcomes? What projects did you start or complete? Or what projects did you have those really good meetings and you know which direction that you want to go in because of that meeting? Whose life did you impact today? What stories did you hear that really touched your heart and your soul? Every week you should be looking for those types of things. Oh, I'm about to cough. Hold on. How do I? I don't know how to mute. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to end right now because I know you don't want to hear me coughing, but I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I am Coach Sherri.